This is Fred Beck from Frederick's Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store. Today I'm very lucky to be joined at the pub by Nigel Farage. Nigel, it's nice to see you again, mate. How are you?
Catch up after that epic night we had at the O2. It was quite something.
I take it you enjoyed it.
I loved it. I mean, look, one or two of the bouts were not the highest quality of boxing, but that's the point. It's, as one of the lads said to me there, it's grassroots boxing. And these are big YouTube superstars, and they've got some balls, haven't they? To get up there, get in the ring, and do what they do, they've got some balls. And I'd heard about the phenomenon, but I'd not been before, and I hadn't realised the power of it. I mean, it really was something else. The place was full, 22,000 people. People behaved well. It was decent. It was great. And I began to realise that some of these YouTubers are actually very good role models.
Certainly. I mean, the place was sold out. I think it was pretty much sold out at 5 o'clock. Obviously, KSI fought first, and he also fought last. And having the O2 sold out at 5 o'clock is rather impressive. But I think our last interview, I think it did like 2 mil on your TikTok. It went. I think there are a few newspaper articles written about it. It's where I asked you, who do you like to fight in the ring? How likely is that fight between you and Boris? If you do, let's do percentage-wise. 0% there's no chance of it happening. 100% it's happening. Where would you kind of rank that?
Well, let's just do the odds of this. I mean, I'm 58, survived a major plane crash. I've got all sorts of bits of me that have been reconstructed, but I'm in good heart. Boris, well, how can I put it? A little bit overweight. Not too nimble on his toes. I'm not sure his cardiac surgeon would recommend it. So the truth is, I think the prospects are low, but he's left the office of Prime Minister. This is it. Today's his last day. And if there was a possibility of doing it for a charity, it could be fun. I wouldn't put it more than 10%, but you never know.
10% is a good chance, I guess. I mean, if you and Boris ever did step in the ring, that'd be one of the most watched boxing fights of all time. Would that be the first time two politicians have had a fight? Obviously, politicians have probably had a fight many times, but in the ring, done the right way.
Had a fight. I've been in the European Parliament when 500 people were fighting me. I was the most unpopular man ever known in Brussels and Strasbourg. Albeit, I get it, different kind of fights. Though I was jostled in my lifts and abused and all the rest of it. It would. I mean, look, Boris and I having a fight would break the internet. I wouldn't put it at more than 10%. But you never know in life. You never know. If Boris accepted it, I'd do it.
Okay, then. So message to Boris Johnson right now if you're looking at the camera.
Boris, you've got time on your hands, mate. You're no longer PM. I mean, what are you going to do? The wife will nag you all day and all night. Come, get ready, come training. Let's do the fight.
Hell yeah, that'd be pretty good. I can do the post-op interviews so we can set it all up, Nigel. But let's talk with some more world leaders. Obviously, Boris is stepping down now. But who do you think would give you a harder fight, Vladimir Putin or Boris Johnson? Vladimir is very skilled.
Well, Putin a few years ago was a very, very fit guy. I mean, make no mistake about that. I think now, I'm not sure whether it's Parkinson's or thyroid, he's not in great health. I mean, that's pretty clear. I'm not even sure he's making very rational decisions in terms of what he's been doing over the last 7 months. I think 5 years ago, Putin would have beaten anybody. He would have beaten anybody. He was super fit. But now, wouldn't be fair to fight him now, would it?
So you think he gives you an easier fight than Boris?
I don't think you can fight a bloke that's ill. You can fight a bloke that's unfit. One or two in the ring on KSI Fight Night weren't, I don't think, quite as fit as they might have been, but they still had guts to get up there and go in the ring. Difficult to think. I guess Trudeau's a young leader. He's probably quite fit. Difficult to think in Europe of anybody that would actually do it, really. I can't see Macron stepping into the ring. I really can't.
Certainly, it would be quite interesting. I know that Elon Musk called Vladimir Putin out a while back. It's quite loud over here, some machinery going on in the background. But let's talk a little bit about politics. Yeah. This hasn't happened on the channel before, so I guess this is my debut interviewing a politician about politics. Liz Truss, she's the new Prime Minister. If you were in her position, what would you change about the country?
Oh, three things. Three big things. I mean, we are on the edge of a precipice. I mean, financial catastrophe could be here within months. Sterling crisis, strikes, cost of living crisis, energy bills, low growth, low productivity. We're in the worst mess we've been since 1976. That's after 12 years.
And what happened in 1976?
In 76, we went bust. we had to go to the IMF to borrow money to pay the interest on our debts. It was the lowest point this country's ever sunk to. We're not there yet, but we're in the worst place since then. And a lot of it, because the Tories have had 12 years of total mismanagement, they have been useless, which is why we've got the fourth Prime Minister in 6 years. If I was Truss, what would I do? Number one, we must be energy independent. It's all well and good talking about net zero and bowing down to the goddess Greta from Sweden, but actually, wind energy sounds great until the wind doesn't blow. And you've got to have gas and things to back it up. We've chosen not to produce our own. So make us energy independent so we can't be held hostage by Putin, Saudi Arabia or anybody else. That's the first thing I'd do. The second thing that I would do is to remember there are 5.5 million men and women out there running small businesses. You're one of them.
Very exciting.
Well, you know, but it's true. And we've done nothing for small business in this country. They're absolutely up to their gills with regulation, bureaucracy, and the whole point of leaving the EU was to lift the burden of regulation off them. So secondly, I would take that burden of regulation off them. And thirdly, we've got to do something about law and order. I mean, just look at the situation in London.
Knife crime. What can we do about knife crime?
I'm really sorry, but stop and search has to happen. And, I know people, it's wrong, it's racist, it's this, it's that. No, it isn't. And we've got to stop this nonsense of dividing people up into being black or white or gay or straight. We've got to treat everybody the same in this country. If we don't do that, we're going to have a very divided, very bad future. So we've got to do stop and search, and we've got to make sure that people that commit acts of violence against somebody else serve long prison sentences. At the moment they don't, and you've literally got a criminal class out there without fear.
Yeah, obviously nowadays in London the knife crime has risen by quite a horrifying rate, but if you were Prime Minister, do you think you make a better Prime Minister than Liz Truss?
Well, I'm not Prime Minister. This is not America. I can't do a Trump and run. He was a businessman. It's a closed shop. Look, I tell you what, Liz Truss's background doesn't inspire me with hope, but everyone's allowed to change their mind. She said one or two really interesting, bold and brave things in the last few days. In the interest of the country, I will not slag her off or criticise her. I want to give her a fair break, an even chance to go out and do what she says. To do it, she'll need guts and courage, but my God, if she doesn't, this country is in big economic and social trouble, and I really mean that.
I know, I saw a TikTok today. I'm not on TikTok much, but I was on it today, and she's going to Scotland to see the Queen. But isn't that a bit ironic? Because it wasn't only a few years ago that she was saying they should get rid of the monarchy.
Well, she'd have got rid of the monarchy, got rid of our nuclear deterrent. She voted Remain. I mean, everything about her says it's wrong, but she says she's changed her mind on all these things. And you know what? Any of us are allowed to change our minds. I expect I'll be disappointed, but let's give the woman a chance. Let's be fair, reasonable human beings. She's coming in with an in-tray like that of problems facing the country. Let's be decent human beings, give her a chance. If she gets it wrong, then I will slag her off.
If she gets it wrong, then I guess we'll be doing another interview rather soon, Nigel. So right now I'm 18. When I'm 28, that's 10 years' time. Where do you think this country will be in 10 years' time?
It's up to us. I mean, the point about Brexit is, and I know a lot of young people were indoctrinated against it through the education system. Brexit is about self-government. We make the rules, not some bloke in Brussels that you can't vote for and can't remove. We can make a success of it or a failure of it. The point about Brexit is we are in charge. I'm always an optimist. I think we could have a terrible couple of years. We'll pull through it. We're a great country. We're a great people. And in 10 years' time, it's all just going to be great.
Hopefully in 10 years' time it will be rather nice. Just there's a few more points I want to ask you on. Yeah. I know you're good mates with Donald Trump. Do you think he's going to run again?
At the moment, yes, I do, but it's 2 years away. He's 76. All sorts of things could happen. Biden and the Democrats are making a total mess of America. Trump's style is a bit difficult for many British people to take. It's New Yorker, it's in your face, it's aggressive, but actually he did some really good stuff on the world stage.
Do you believe the election is stolen from Donald?
I believe any system of postal voting is open to fraud. I've seen it in this country. I've fought court cases in this country. I think the way they just sent out tens of millions of votes was irresponsible, crazy, wrong. But I think to go on about a stolen election, I think he needs to ease back off that. We're going to have to end.
Okay, I think we've got to get going here, but Nigel, Oh wow, we've got a whole march coming here. Nigel, that's great. Thanks so much for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I don't think Unite are my friends.